Josh Duggar's time behind bars has been extended again. According to The Sun, the disgraced former 19 Kids and Counting star's release date from prison has been pushed back by nearly 3 months, just weeks after the court denied his request for a court-appointed attorney to challenge his conviction for receiving child sex abuse materials (CSAM). Josh is currently incarcerated after being convicted for his crimes in December 2021 and, until recently, he was set to be released in early October 2032. According to The Sun, however, Josh's release date has now been pushed back to December 23, 2032. This is actually the second time Josh's release date has been postponed, as the father of 7 was initially set to be released from FCI Seagoville in Texas on August 12, 2032. A representative for FCI Seagoville reportedly did not respond to the outlet's request for comment regarding Josh's latest release date postponement. As the Ashley told you earlier this month, Josh filed a motion with the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Arkansas asking that he be appointed a lawyer to help him fight to challenge his conviction. However, his request was ultimately denied after U.S. Magistrate Judge Christy Comstock claimed that Josh's motion to appoint counsel both lacked sufficient detail and failed to justify the request under federal law. In his attempt to persuade the Arkansas federal court to provide him with a new legal team, Josh submitted a letter in May to Judge Timothy L. Brooks, the judge who handled Josh's first trial, explaining that he was seeking the court's assistance in appointing counsel to help evaluate my case and, if appropriate, prepare a motion to vacate, set aside, or correct my conviction and sentence. Josh also touted in his letter his alleged behind-bars activities, as well as the significant issues relating to his case that he believes merit a post-conviction review. During my time of incarceration, I have worked diligently to focus on education, personal growth, my faith, and to maintain strong family ties, he wrote. However, as I review my case, I believe there are significant issues relating to trial error, evidentiary rulings, and other constitutional violations that merit a thorough post-conviction review. I am unable to fully assess these matters on my own, which is why I seek assistance of qualified counsel to help evaluate whether relief is justified, he continued. Josh had also stated in his letter that he was no longer able to afford a private attorney due to his current financial circumstances, and therefore, was in need of a public defender. As of now, Josh's release date is set for December 23, 2032. The U.S. Sun can exclusively reveal a bombshell lawsuit has been filed against the Federal Bureau of Prisons facility. In the February 2025 complaint, the inmate claimed, "Smoked K2 when I first got to the yard. Stopped smoking it on July 6, 2024. K2 is a synthetic drug similar to marijuana. The inmate claimed he suffered a seizure and the medical staff didn't do anything but check my vitals. They have me in this 100-year-old building with mold in these cells and air vents," the lawsuit alleged. "I keep complaining about it since I had my seizure on January 16, 2025, and they won't do anything. Keep asking to move cells that have less mold or no mold at all, they act like they don't hear me. Grand Prairie say they take staff misconduct seriously but still treating me the same way. I haven't even had a chance to see my daughter in person." The court ordered the inmate to file his complaint on the proper form within 30 days. The deadline expired and the court dismissed the complaint without prejudice. A representative for FCI Seagoville declined to comment to the U.S. Sun. FCI Seagoville has been accused of harsh conditions in the past. The U.S. Sun previously obtained a lawsuit from a prisoner who accused the facility of inhumane conditions. In the lawsuit filed on February 26, 2024, inmate Dino Peterson claimed the food served at the prison contained maggots. He also alleged by providing an email that he was denied medical care for the 3rd day in a row to be looked at for seizures or some other issues related to brain issues. Health Services responded to the email with the hours available to see a doctor and advised him to speak to the nurse in his unit. In a November 22, 2023 email to the warden, Dino alleged, "Inhumane living conditions since November 21, raw sewage inside the jail over 24 hours and myself forced to live with sewage." He requested $494,658.83. FCI Seagoville did not respond to the lawsuit and the case was dismissed. An insider previously told the U.S. Sun that inmates often suffer medical neglect, as the prison doesn't always hold sick call on the scheduled days. The source claimed, "My family member hasn't received any medical treatment for it in 2.5 years for his disability. He's asked and they keep telling him that he's on the list. He needs glasses, and he's been on the list to get an optometry appointment for over a year and still hasn't gotten any. My family member has had situations where he's had a cold or COVID. And sometimes it's a couple of days before he's able to get any kind of attention at all. The insider added, someone I know said her husband is always sick because he's just constantly always cold and undernourished. FCI Seagoville did not respond to the U.S. Sun's request for comment at the time regarding sick call. The source also previously told the U.S. Sun that the inmates live in conditions that make them more susceptible to illness. The source claimed to the U.S. Sun, the food they get is regularly expired. They're just like really disgustingly expired, always by at least a couple of weeks. And it's like milk, all sorts of like stuff that can't be expired for that long. They had a run of cereal that had bugs in it, and so people just couldn't eat their cereal because it was filled with bugs. The insider continued to allege that the prison runs out of food kind of often. The source claimed, it's only ever been like a 1 or 2 day thing at a time, but the portions are also small enough to where if you can't afford to buy food on commissary, you're going hungry. As for Josh, the U.S. Sun previously reported he lives in a renovated dorm with special amenities and privileges. They finished painting the walls and getting flowers put into dorm 6, where Josh lives. It's been turned into an honors dorm, a source claimed to the U.S. Sun. They get special privileges and building updates because it's an honors dorm. There are washers and dryers, microwaves, and more. They're trying to create a dorm of model inmates.